and prosperity was there in the country during his time. So everything was going on well. And as the kings marry for their progeny, so they married. There are four wives or three wives, anyhow, but none could give any child back because they are not, they're barren. So the king was very unhappy, and seeing his morose form and then dissatisfaction, one day Narada, sage Narada, and Angirasa, two sages, appeared before him. And then he, with due respect, honored them and then gave them the seat, honorable offering, etc. And then they started conversing. And then the Narada then asked, Angirasa asked, what is the cause? You seem to be very gloomy. What is the matter? Is there anything, everything going on well? He said, yes, everything well. But my heart burns with this, but there is no son who will be carrying the whole kingdom later on. So what will happen? Then the king was so distraught, and they're feeling that I feel no meaninglessness of my life. If kingdom, wealth, prosperity, wife, husband, everything is there around, but there is no child to take care of the kingdom in future. So what to do? And then they said, okay, so please do something so that I can have my child. So they asked them to do some special uh, sacrificial fire, jagna, and then asked them the senior most king, the elder king, queen, to have that ate that. And then she conceived a child. And then actually the king Chitraketu was very much elated, and his whole infatuation went for the child. And then naturally the elder queen became the more attraction for him, and the others felt very much dejected, and they made a cruel plan to kill the child. And anyhow, the child was killed, and they behaved in such a way as if they also do not know why the child is dead like that, etc., etc. All cried and wept and this and that. This is going on. Now, a very bad situation is going on in that kingdom. Then again, there came the king. Oh, very good. So then the king was very upset, and he felt disinterested in ruling the country, and she was very, as it happens, the son being born, only one son with so much prayers and effort, and that child died. So he's saying, why, O Lord, you give me the child and took away, etc., etc. But at the time of that prayer, when Chitraketu first asked the sage, then he said, yes, you will get a child, but it will be because of your joy as also of suffering. The joy he experienced when the child was born and all this, he gave the big gift to all his subjects, plenty of money, gold, this, that, cows, gifted to the poor and whoever came. And now the baby is died, is killed, or he's dead. soon the suffering come. So this, at this point, then the Narada and Chitraketu again, the what you call the Narada and Agni Rasa, they came and then appeared, and then now this Sukadev was relating what happened then. Here we are reading the chapter number 6.15, 15th chapter of the 6th book. Sri Shuka said, instructing the king who was lying like a corpse on the side of the dead body of his son, the sage spoke to him the following words of wisdom. So the father was overwhelmed with the death of the child. So he was almost as if dead, lost all his strength due to bereavement and pain of losing the son. And the Narada and Angirasa, they said, second time they came and they said, O great king, he for whom you are mourning, what is he? What is he to you? In the flux of creation, how were you related to the dead child in the previous birth? And what is to be the relationship in future births? Question. To you are so much overwhelmed. Who was your child? This time you are the father. You are the king, he is the son. In previous life, what was this relationship with you? Nowadays, people talk about past life regression. No? They can read the past life, who was what is what. Meaningless. There is no use of knowing that. Because major part is to know now to God. Even if you know, the old thing will not change. You may get a glimpse of experience, okay, because of this. But what then? But you lose the ground now, which you can utilize it for God realization. Because this is again a chain of birth and death. So he said, in the flux of creation, this creation is going on. Very beautiful verse in the flux of creation, verse number 2. How were you related to the dead child? The boy was not before, only few months before, or 1 year before. Maybe the child was short-lived, no? So before that, there was no child. What was your connection with this child? And after this, where he has gone and what will be your relationship? What is that? It's in the life's journey. You just met somebody and exited. I give the example of the train journey. You are making a long train journey, and some people come in one station, sit by your side, chit chat, and say, who, good, bad, or some maybe bad guy poking you and pushing you, making your journey disturbed, or some making your journey joyful. But they came, and in one station comes, they come now. So why are you getting so much connected with it? There is no connection. For a time has brought people in connection, and time separates now. So why are you weeping for that? So that is the idea. Now you see how logical analysis of life and philosophy of life is coming out. That's why it is said when suffering is not suffering. Sometimes suffering gives us a new outlook of life or to understand what it is. In the flux of creation, how were you related to the dead child in the previous birth? Now he's dead. Your child, you tell me your child has died. Where was your child before he took birth? Do you know him? Do you have any connection? Maybe some connection. You do not know, or maybe something. And what was the relation? You are now father, it is now the child. In previous birth, what was he? What were you? Who knows? Therefore, what is to be the relation in the future birth? Suppose now he is dead early, he will die after, say, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Then what will happen? What will be your connection again with them? The idea is that these relations are never the same in different births. There may be no relation at all, or there may be the reverse relation also. That means father was the son, son was the father. Sometimes when somebody dies and the grandfather has died, no? And then after sometimes 1 year or so, a child is born in the Hindu culture in homes. People say, "Oh, he looks like the grandpa. His grandpa has come back again." No, it may be some relation, may not be some relation. So, reverse relation also, the father being reborn as son. So you do not know. So just as grains of sand come together and separate in a current of water, so are we, the living beings, united and separated by the flow of time. It is true. Flow of time, we are four people sitting over here. Flow of time, Kali Puja night, there will be some more people. I will be there, you will be there, but in different position here, there. Then the flow of time, people are coming, people are going away. This lunch, there are some flow of time, somebody came, somebody left. Flow of time, somebody is not there. So this is the all going on in the time is the capital time. Mahakal. Here is, that's why it has given the time as just the capital time, flow of time. Yatha prayanti sangyanti soto begena baluka. Baluka means balu means the sand. Balukaha soto begena carried out and then collected in one place, washed away another place. Grains are all collected and separated. So, samjujjante, bijujjante, tatha kalena dehina. Dehina, those who are holding this individual jiva, they are like grains of sand. They are just collected in one place, sometimes accumulated friendship, dancing, singing, joyous. It's all the fun, joy in the world. It is all superficial, no? People do not know how they come together. They make, I had a good party, and there are 50 people were there. We danced and sang, and dance and sang in time, and dance and sang. When you are in one point, there is no one with you. You are alone. So in time we are getting connected. In time we are getting separated. Yatha dhana subhai dhana bhavanti na bhavanti cha evam bhuteshu bhutani choditani sha maya. By maya then, what is happening? Just sprouts, rice sprouts or say any seed, you put it as it sprouts. May sometimes grow from seeds and sometimes from not. So to do different springs come sometimes out of parents and sometimes do not, as dictated by the Maya of the Lord's Maya, grand Maya of the Lord. By His will or His play, things are gathering, some disappearing. This thing is happening continuously. Parental relationship need not be taken more seriously than that between the seeds and sprouts. Seeds and many seeds are there, no? When they throw away in the ground, they are together. And the seed was together, say in one bowl. When they make the sprout, and the sprout they throw away so that there will be plenty of food. So they separate, they get separated. One is here, one is there, another is there, another is there. But their togetherness, closeness were there. Similarly, this coming and going is like that. Yes? Just as I, you, and all the creatures did not exist before birth. Say, let us go back to, say, 100 years. We are not here. None of us are here. In the form we are, in the solute center, in this particular place. There are different people, different type of activity, different type of structure, construction was there. That is gotten. So, as I, you, and all these creatures do not exist before birth and will not exist after death, these physical bodies, so they do not exist even now. So, that we are weeping for that does not exist. That is not the reality. Reality is Atman. See how in every time any such occasion comes, the scriptures immediately takes us to the point of understanding that it is the birthless, deathless state of ours. Sixth verse, the Lord of all, the unoriginated being. Unoriginated being means who have never been born. The Lord of all, the unoriginated being, brought out of himself the creative categories by the exercise of his inherent power. And with these categories, they are dependent on him. He performs the work of creation, preservation, and dissolution of all beings held absolutely under his control. So it is by God's will it happens. So they born this unoriginated being, what we call Brahman. Normally we use the everything is originated, everything has been born in time and space. But Lord God, the Absolute, he was never born any time. He is all the time there. That's why it's called Sat. Sat means all the time there. Chit, all the time it is conscious. All the time it is the bliss. Satchidananda. So Deheno deheno rajan, dehat deho vijayate, bijadeva jatha bijam, dehi artham niva shashvato. And Dehi, who is the Lord God of the universe, is shashvata, means eternal. So now, what you have to do now, just as the distinction made between the universal and the particular is an assumption. So also this distinction between the spirit and the body and their coming together is an assumption. So you are all thinking that we have come, we have gone, we are bored, we are dead. It is an assumption. That means it is all mental. Mentally you are consumed in this thought that your birth, death happening, your origin, your death, all these are happening because you are embodied being and have not the view to see the beyond. But everything is coming under the God's spell. It's called the Maya Shakti of the Lord. The soul alone is the abiding reality. The concomitance between the two is no proof that the spirit dies with the body. Yeah? That means, though it is connected, it seems here is the Supreme Lord and also the physical body all connected. Energy, consciousness is connected, but there is no connection. The body comes and goes, and the Atman does not go. So it's the same simple formula of Vedanta principle is given by the Shukadeva. Now hearing this, the king Chitraketu, he said, what he said, Sukadev said against, thus comforted by the sage means sage Narada, the king Chitraketu wiped his sorrow-stricken face. So he got into awareness, yes, we are ignorantly connected with this body and thinking that we are born, thinking that we have our relationship. These are all superficial. No relationship is eternal, only that Atman is the reality, and that relationship is eternal. And this is coming and going is like grains of sand being washed away or gathered together. It is like that. Sometimes they are in one place with the flow of time. Flow comes, they get scattered, and then goes. But the unchanging reality is this. So Deho, body, is like grains of sand, or the seeds which are to be sprouted. When it sprouts in different places, they are separated. But that spirit is not changing. So who then he Chitraketu, with little hearing from the sages, he got wake up into his consciousness. So the 10th verse says, who may you be that have come here, disguised as bare-bodied wanderers. That means Avadhuts. Sukadev and others, they are all ever free. So they are like a child. They have no body consciousness. So they roam around for the good of the world. Then he said, oh, who have come before me in this type of childlike simplicity and your body consciousness situation, you are avadhutas, but possessing the highest wisdom and deserving the first rank among those who are called great. So you belong to the community of the greatest avadhutas. You have realized the truth, though you look like young and very insignificant, but you carry so much wisdom and knowledge. So who are you? Holy men, you are holy men, dear to the Lord. You are one of them. The holy men, dear to the Lord, move about in the world, hiding their greatness under the veil of abnormal looks and ways. So that is here, then that the holy people, oblivious of their ego, they roam around the world for the good of the world, giving them wisdom and knowledge and freeing them from suffering and pain. So you are one of them, you people are one of them. Why you roam around? Because in order to bless the worldly minded persons like myself, you wander around the world to bless people like me, the king is saying, like me, who is overwhelmed with ignorance and crying and weeping for my death of my child. So you are that Avadut, you are holy. So he is respectfully acknowledging the greatness. Then verse number 12 to 15, he is naming many of the saintly people like this holy man, the Sanat Kumaro and his group. Sanat Kumara's group is Sukha, Sanandan, Sanat Kumara, Sanatana. Their group. Narada, Rivu, Angirasa, Devala, Asita. These are all names of the great sages, realized people who roam around in the world for the good of humanity. These and many other sages go about the world in order to bestow the spiritual knowledge on others. So their purpose is only to give wisdom to the people, to release them from bondage and eternal bondage. Therefore, it is befitting that you hold this lamp of wisdom and remove the darkness of one like me, Chitraketu, walking in ignorance like a village swine. That means in a dirty swine, I was ignorantly crying and weeping, and you are so great, you burn the lamp of light and wisdom so that I am now understanding the truth. Now the Rishi Angirasa, this is Angiras, Narada and Angirasa, these two sages, appeared before this king and gave this wisdom. So now the Rishi Angirasa said, O king, I am that Angirasa who helped you to obtain a child. You prayed to me and I appeared before you and you asked me, I asked you, why are you so morose? You said, I need a child. I am the king of the world, I have so much wealth, prosperity, everything, but I have no son. So please help me, otherwise my life is meaningless. You asked that to me. I am the same person now, come to you to give this wisdom. So he says, this is the all-knowing and worshipful sage Narada. This is me Angirasa, and this is this Narada, who is the son of Vyasa. Brahma, sorry, not Vyasa. Narada is the son of Brahma. We have arrived here thinking of you and to bless you, who are now submerged in grief arising from the loss of son. So you are now submerged into grief due to your loss of your son. So we have jointly came here as we appeared before you before. So here also I came, both of us, to help you to come out of your suffering, pain. And this loss of son is a fate which veterinary of holy men and devotee of the Lord like you does not deserve. Hmm? A fate which a votary of holy men and a devotee of the Lord like you does not deserve. Mane grief, you should not be grieved because you're a good person, good king, very honest, very sincere, very spiritual. You should not suffer like that because the son of. So we have appeared out of our own because you are lying dead with your child, thinking you are lost everything, utter depression. So, because of your good spiritual values, we have appeared before you, the Narada and Angirasa. We are two people appeared. Even when I visited you earlier, then I wanted to impart the knowledge to you. I was going to give you this knowledge. But you are so infatuated that I need a child, I need a child, I need it. Okay, you got it. And I told you the child will bring joy, child will bring suffering. Now you experience the joy. Now you see suffering. Now what do you want now? So he says, I wanted to impart the knowledge to you then, but finding that you are not more intent on having a child, I help you to get one. That's why good teachers don't teach like us. Hey, be like that. Oh, do like this good. No. They say what is good for let what they are asking for, let them have it. And go through the bitter experience of life, then he say, hey, okay, now come. Otherwise, if you give the highest wisdom, knowledge, it will not catch your mind. It does not resonate with mine. Your response is not resonating with me. So that's why they're the wise people. Holy Mother was like that. She never gave advice to anyone. Even asked for, then she will open her mouth. Uh, we are ignorant more, more and more. So we go to advise people. Hey, do that. Hey, do that. Hey, do that. Of course, if you are given the responsibility, you will have to do. But that point is that important thing that wise people understand the mind mental condition of the person, that this advice will not be suitable for that person to grab it.
You don't value what you didn't pay for.
Yeah, he's not ready yet. We say we are not ready yet. No? So even when I visited you earlier, Angirasa, the sage Angirasa says, I wanted to impart knowledge to you, but finding that you were then more intent on having a child, I helped you to get that child. You have now understood the kind of sorrow that people with children are like to suffer from. Now you have understood. You have a child was so darling, now child dead. So you feel that bereavement and pain. So you go into this experience of joy and suffering. All other kinds of worldly relationships and attainments. Two, whether they be related to wife, house, wealth, power, objects of enjoyment, land, kingdom, and its majesty's army, treasury, servants, ministers, and allies are causes of suffering. Now you have understood this. Now you are thinking you are a big kingdom. You have so many good ministers under you. They are very loyal to you. Or your courthouse is full of this loving respect for you. You will understand. These are also causes of bondage. It will bring suffering. and we'll see some joy, some suffering. So these are not permanent. See how this sage is giving the direction that you have got one experience. Now look at the other experiences. You are a good king, you are a noble soul, but be aware. Same result will happen if you got attached to all these things. So they are all causes of suffering. And not only suffering, all causes of sorrow, all causes of your pride, also fear. You may lose, so that fear. And worry, everyday worry. No? Worries are more for people who have more. The homeless people has less worry. What to lose? Huh? If you have a good bank account, your bank account may be hacked. If you have any your identity, and identity can be theft, identity theft. Huh? You have your jealousy may be there because you have something other will be jealous about you. So you cannot avoid this. So it is this worry, fear, and arrogance, pride, and all these sorrowful things, everything of the world, if it is not connected with God, it will bring that to you in your life. It may give you a few days your sweetness, and then it will be found that it will give you the destructive experience of suffering and pain afterwards. They are fleeting phenomena, like a castle in the air. It looks very good. Friendship. I have 20 friends. My God, how they love me. And we are always in contact with them. And we are very close, knit friend. You fall in a financial crisis, all your friendship will go away. No one will look at you. Then you say, oh my God. Huh? Yeah, you're beautiful, beautiful looking. Ha ha ha, you're so beautiful. You fall sick and something happens to your beauty. Bas, all fans gone. Anything. That's why now what is called that? These 100 slokas from a what is that? Sarvam Dukkham.
Dukkham Sarvam Dukkham
Sunnam, Sunnam is the Buddhistic language. Roge, na, Bhoge, Rogo Bhayam, Sarvam Vastu Bhayannitam. Everything is haunted by fear. Vairaggam eva abhayam. Only when you say, I don't care for it, does not matter anything. Nothing to lose. A homeless person, what have to lose? I've lost my home. I've lost my friends. No one looks at me. I'm in the street. My friend, my family, some way, but they are in their way. I am in my way. So then what money? That's the point. That's why the monks are so much fearless because they have nothing to lose. A wandering monk in India, suppose, moving from one place to another place. What they have to lose? They have only one backpack. And in that backpack, maybe there one set or two set of clothing, maybe there. Now, modern sadhus may have two sets, one set clothing. Traditional monastics will have nothing. So, what to lose? No money to lose, no wealth to lose, no bank account to lose, no credit card fraud. Nothing is possible because there's nothing. But he has only thing God. So this is the point, that they are fleeting phenomena like a castle in the air. Huh? There is a castle in the air. There is a garden, beautiful flower garden in the sky. It's a good word to say, and you can make a novel of it and create a big novel story and movie also. In the castle, there is a castle was there in the sky, and in that castle there, the king was there, queen was there, the robber was there, friend was there, enemy. You can create entire novel and drama. But the fundamental point is castle in the air is a big thing. It does not happen. So this idea, no, they and have no ultimacy as is the case of experiences caused by dream. As you see your experience in dream, it is another dream, this big dream drama going on. Magic, it is like a magic show. It's like a reverie. All these objects of enjoyment which have no substantiality. So why substantiality? It is so fleeting for such a small split second and followed by so much suffering, so much worries, so much anxieties. No? People do all types of bad things, and for little they know they may be caught later on, but they are trapped in such a way. For this little some petty thing, they do it and they will be trying to escape, but they are caught into the trap and suffer whole life. So this is that you have understand that all these objects of enjoyment which have no substantiality and are merely creation of the mind. You create your mind, I'll be happy if I have it. If you think that that is happy, suppose one gentleman was working in a company and he has been promoted to vice president position. No? And he says, how? I'm promoted to her. Okay. And there was one person in vice president position, which you are getting now promoted, someone is demoted or someone is pushed from that post. Go to that person and ask his experience. You were vice president in my position before. How was your experience? And he will get all the bitter experiences he has. No? So what we are thinking, what a good fortune for me. There are many people who have that fortune, but they understood later on it is not a fortune. It's a real pain in the neck. No? So all these objects of enjoyment which have no substantiality, they are mere creations of your mind, for they are experienced one moment and are gone the next moment. It may be said that they are the product of one's meritorious evil and good action. You did something good, you get some prize of it. You did something bad, you get the suffering of that. So it comes alternately. Or sometimes good days are long for someone, for a good range of good work done before. And something bad is coming, do not know, because of some bad reactions. No, it is from the mind engaged in the constant thought, arising from the tendencies acquired from previous actions, that various future actions and the results spring. This is the whole philosophy of karma. It is from the mind, that mind, which is engaged in constant thought. Your mind is engaged in constant thought of one idea, and mind gets colored and colored and colored. Then the tendency is created. It's called the samskara. And that samskara acquired from previous actions. That has come because of your previous. So previous action motivate you to do some work, and going into that work, you get infatuated and go on and continuously moving in that. And that brings the samskara, and that samskara pulls you forward to happiness and joy in actions like that. That various future actions and the result springs out of that action. This body of man constituted of material substances, sense organs, and organs of action in the cause of difficulties and sorrows of various kinds. We know what is the body made of what? 5 elements. This body, how it grow every day. With water, air, fire, Panchabhutas, Khiti, Up, Tej, Marudbam. That's why that's energy. It's the oxygen goes in and carbon dioxide comes out, etc. We live with the oxygen. So, Bayu, Jal, drink, we always drink. Here is the drinking water. Prithvi, all the food grains or whatever you eat grows in the earth, from the earth element. So the five elements, therefore, constituted of this body, which is constituted of five materials, sense organs, five organs of perception: eyes, ear, nose, tongue, touch, taste. No? So, five organs of perception, five organs of action: hand, feet, etc., etc. So, organs of action, tell you the body is the cause of difficulties. It causes all the difficulties because this body is an instrument through which we enjoy the world. We want to hold on to the things by the help of mind, where there is no connection. The whole world is made of five elements. I am also made of five elements. So why I shall be attracted? It is my very fundamental constitution is this five element. But when a jiva consciousness comes, then I want to enjoy this, I want to feel this, I want to get this. Therefore, meditate on the Atman, 26th verse, with a peaceful mind and get rid of the idea of permanency you have in regard to the world of duality. So the ultimate conclusion is given by the sage Angiras, as is the eternal message given by all the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, etc. Therefore, you meditate not on the body, not on anything related to the body. My son, my daughter, my friend, my father, my mother, my relative, my country, my nation. Anything me and mine connected, get out, get out, get out. And go back to your who you are, really, that Satchidananda, consciousness and bliss. Therefore, meditate on the Atman. Tasmat swasthena manasa bimrisya gautimatmana dvaitam dhruva artha visrambhya tejo upasamam arvisha. So therefore what you do? You meditate on the Atman with a peaceful mind. Now you understand, nothing of the world can give you peace. Neither wealth, neither money, neither prosperity, neither name, neither power, all kingly enjoyment. Nothing can give you peace. Focus on your own self, who is the foundation of all experience. With a peaceful mind, that means how can you think if the mind is not peaceful? That means meditate in a peaceful mind and get rid of the idea. We do meditate, but we never think that whether my meditation is becoming good or bad. Meditation good does not mean only you get absorbed into it, but you have to feel that you are detached from the world. Because your values are changing. You are not interested in this changing phenomena of the world, no? Because that changing phenomena cannot give eternal peace. So it is withdrawing the mind from that, focus in your Atman, the self, and give out the idea that the permanency you have in regard to the world of duality. For us, this world is so real. This world of duality, get out of this duality and focus on it. So this is the advice given by Angirasa. Then Narada said, receive from me with one pointed mind the mantra that I shall impart to you. Now, how will you go there? Here comes the mantra initiation. Take the mantra from me. How will you withdraw and focus? So, receive from me with one pointed mind. Etang mantra upanishadam praticha projato mama. I am conferring to you. I shall impart to you. You be focused on the mantra, what I am trying to give you, and meditate on that mantra. It brings about the highest good of man and gives the experience of sankarsana to those who meditate on it with concentration for a week. Sankarsana is the Lord God. Yang Dharan Saptoratral Drashta Sankarsanam Prabhu. That Prabhu, the Lord of the universe, Sankarsan, you will have the vision of him. You will have the experience. Because you are advanced soul. You have now experienced the world is futile. We can talk about that. But when father really loses his son, and that bereavement, the world becomes all void for that, all meaningless play. And then that time, if some holy people come and give this wisdom, he's ready. That's why it happens within quick time. So he says it brings about the highest good of man. This mantra, what I have, I can give you, I will impart to you. Therefore, you listen with one-pointed mind, with peaceful mind, the instruction I'm giving you, and it brings about the highest good of man, gives the experience of sankarsana to those who meditate on it with concentration for a week. You can only, 1 week is sufficient for God realization. But for whom? Who thinks that world is not at all real. That conviction has come. For them, this truth will reveal so quickly. But we have attachment for the world. How much we say, I would like to see things, I want to eat things, I want to enjoy things. So attachment to the world is there. That's why this experience takes 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 20 year, 30 year, 50 year, nothing happens. Because this attachment to the world is so strong. So the attachment to God is proportionately less. So that's why the pool is on this side, not on that side. O king, it was by taking refuge at his feet that a great one like Parameshwara got over the ignorance-born identification with the body and attained to that state of spiritual power and glory, which is unequaled and unsurpassed. That is his. That means, with O king, if you can take refuge in this principle at the feet of the Lord, if you can, it was by taking refuge at his feet, H capital, God's feet. That a great one like Parameshwara, God, Lord Brahma, Vishnu, like that, got over the ignorance-born identification with the body and attained to that state of spiritual power and glory, which is unequaled and unsurpassed. And that is his. You too will attain to it if you worship him with a devout heart. Therefore, that is the advice Narada gave, and Angirasa said that world is temporary, everything in this world is momentary. Don't hang on to that, feel detached to that, and after detaching from that, focus your mind on the Atman which is inside. All the relationship of meeting together and separating, it happens by mystery of the time, great time called Kala. So therefore, they are all fleeting. That is not true. That is not the ultimate truth. So don't hang on to that. Focus on God. As in previous time, sages have realized it, you can also realize it quickly by practicing this. So this is here it ends the chapter 15. We said that we started 15 or 16? 15. So 15 ends here. And we'll read the chapter 16 in the next time. So Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Ramakrishna Pranamastu. Next chapter is 16th chapter. It will talk about the enlightenment of Chitraketu. Chitraketu's experience will come and will be enlightened. How? By seeing the sun in different plane and talking to him, etc., etc. We'll hear about that next time. Om Shanti. Very good. So no one has any question? and not many are you are here also. Okay, it is. So we are only continuing it. Mm.
7:30 class.
Okay, we'll be meeting again at 7:30 for the Upanishad class. That is the Sheta Shetara Upanishad. Thank you all. Jai Ma. Thanks for all who are in the online. Is there anybody online?
Yes.
Okay.
23 people.
Huh?
23.
Oh.